Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I know typically this is primarily a gaming channel, and I want to keep it that way, but the NFL season is about to start, and NFL is something that's really big for me. I just love watching football, and I don't know, nobody may watch this, people may watch and be like, I thought you were primarily gaming. I am, but I just figured I'd try something out because the NFL season does start in a few weeks. We're currently in preseason, and I wanted to try something a little different and get it out there. And I'm going to be doing the record predictions for all the NFL teams and I guess playoffs too. So, yeah, as I go through the teams in the first week, I will kind of talk about each team, basically my thoughts on them going into the season. And so, first week will be a little bit longer, but as I go week through week, I'll try and do it fast because I know this could take a while if I uh, get caught up too much on any one team or matchup or something. So, yeah, if you guys enjoy this, want to see more kind of one-off sports-related videos like this, it'll pretty much only be NFL. That's really the only sport I follow. But if you guys enjoy it, just be sure to let me know. If you don't, then I will not do anything like this ever again. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So, first game we got here is the Pittsburgh Steelers at Buffalo. And, I think the Bills are going to be one of the best teams, not only in the AFC, but in the entire league this year. So I think I can easily give them the win here. I think the Steelers will be good. I think they're getting a little too dogged on for how they ended last year. I think they'll still be a good team, possibly even a playoff team, but I just don't think the Steelers can beat the Bills at this point. Then we have the Jaguars at Houston. Now this is going to be an interesting game because the Jaguars are new on multiple fronts, like an entire new regime change basically with Urban Meyers the coach. They're going to have Trevor Lawrence now. They got like new receivers, a new running back, new tight ends, I guess, with Tim Tebow. But the Texans are also in disarray. We don't know if Deshaun Watson is going to be the quarterback because his appearances at practice camp have been kind of on and off, and we shall see how that plays out. But even if he does play, I think the Texans are going to be one of the worst teams in the league, if not the worst team. So, yeah, I'm going off the assumption that Deshaun will probably not play, just because it makes things easier. If he does play, they may would win another game or two, but I just don't see him winning a lot of games this year. So I'm going to go with the Jaguars to win in week one, get off to a hot start for both their coach and quarterback's careers and for their season. Then we have the Browns at the Chiefs. I think the Browns are going to be really good this year. I'm a fan of the Browns, so I don't want to hype them up too much because I remember what happened not last year, but the year before when they went 6-10 after being hyped up as the best team in the league. I don't want to do that again, but I do think they'll be good, but not good enough to take on the Chiefs. They're going to have Mahomes back, a lot of their offensive weapons back. I just can't go against the Chiefs this early to lose. Even though I think the Browns can put up a fight, I just don't think that they will. Then we have the Dolphins at the Patriots, and, I think the Patriots are going to have a bounce back year. I don't think they're going to have two losing seasons in a row. I mean, I'm assuming I may do these records and still have a losing season. And I think the Dolphins will also be better. I don't really understand the hate on Tua, but just week one, I think the Patriots are going to come back swinging and they will win at home to start off the season. Then we have the Ravens at the Raiders. Ravens, I think, are going to be a very good team. Bounce back, kind of a bounce back year for Lamar Jackson as a passer. And the Raiders, I just can never really get too excited about them because it seems like every year something happens, or they start out strong, but they always fall off. And I just can't really see the Raiders making a big push for the playoffs this year. So I'm going to go with the Ravens to win that game. Then we have the Vikings at the Bengals. I think both of these teams will be improved off of the way they were last year, even though Joe Burrow in training camp has kind of been a little off. He hasn't been himself, and obviously he's coming off a season-ending injury. But I think they will be better. Probably not a winning record, but I do think they will be better. Be more. They were pretty. What's the word? Pretty competitive last year, and they only won 4 games. So I think they will be better this year. But the Vikings, I think, I'm expecting to see a big improvement over last year. They made the playoffs the year before that. Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. I think he's a little overhated. Dalvin Cook is one of the best running backs. They've got Justin Jefferson coming into his second year. Adam Thielen's back. And their defense, they've added some pieces to that. So I think the Vikings will be better this year, and I'm going to pick them to win Week 1 against the Bengals. Then we have the Seahawks at the Colts. Colts, of course, are going to be without Carson Wentz probably for a few weeks. I'm guessing at least maybe 4 or 5 weeks of the season. And I think the Seahawks are going to take advantage of that. The Colts will still have a good defense, but their offense, depending on who the quarterback is, if it's Jacob Eason, Sam Ehlinger, if they get somebody else, I don't know. But I just don't see them winning Week 1. And that could possibly come back to bite them if they lose a lot of games early. Then we have the Chargers at Washington. Both teams that I could see kind of going for an upswing here with this season. The Chargers have a really good offense now with Justin Herbert, their wide receiving core, a good running back room, and they are hoping to make strides on their defensive side now that they have a more defensive-minded coach, and they just need to close out games. That was their biggest problem last year. Washington has an amazing defense. Their offense has improved. They got more receivers. They're coming at a second year for Antonio Gibson. They've got Ryan Fitzpatrick, who, I mean, is still to be seen how he shakes out this year, but he's definitely an improvement over what they had last year. So, yeah, I think both these teams will have the potential to make the playoffs, but Week 1, I'm going to go with the Chargers coming in and winning that game. Then we have the Jets at the Panthers. Jets, similar to the Jaguars, they have a new head coach, a new quarterback, pretty much revamped their entire offense, and I think they could have an explosive offense if Zach Wilson pans out. Elijah Moore looks to be really good, and their offense could be powerful. The question is their defense, and if they get Robert Saleh to bring back like any competitiveness at all from the 49ers, which I don't see why not. He was the defense was a big part of that team making a Super Bowl run. So I think the Jets will be good at some point, just not this year. I think the Panthers, Sam Darnold is going to kind of get his revenge against the Jets for ruining his first couple years, and the Panthers will win. Week 1, they're going to have McCaffrey back. They've got Matt Rule coming into his second year. I think the Panthers, will be better this year, but it's a tough division for them, so we shall see. Then we have the Cardinals at the Titans. I think the Cardinals, they're the only team in that division that I'm kind of suspect that they can't really make the playoffs. Not that they won't be good, but it's just every year, like they come in at times when you don't think they have a chance, and they win the big games that really count, but then they lose the games that should have been wins. Like they'll play someone like the Lions and they'll lose, or they'll play the Jets and they'll lose. And I think the Cardinals will be good, but Week 1, the Titans are going to have Derrick Henry back. They've now got Julio Jones, A.J. Brown's going to be back, Ryan Tannehill's going to be back. I think the Titans are going to be a offensive powerhouse, kind of on par with teams like the Chiefs or the Browns, and I think they will be pretty hard to stop. I think they'll win Week 1. Then we have the Broncos at the Giants. Giants are my favorite team. I'm hoping they can pull it out, maybe win the division. It's going to be tough. I think the Broncos also, like, the talk is they're just a quarterback away from being a contender. And I'm not quite ready to throw away Drew Lock just yet. I think like he showed a lot of promise as a rookie last year. Not too much. He got hit by the injury bug like a lot of players did. And I think he will bounce back somewhat this season. Now it remains to be seen whether that translates into wins. But the Giants have a good defense. And, you know, I don't know. I feel like if I choose the Giants, I'm kind of going off bias since they're my team. But it really hinges on how well Drew Lock plays and how well the Giants' defense is. Like, the Giants, it's basically a what if because they have a explosive offense if Daniel Jones puts it together. So it's really, this game really hinges upon how the quarterbacks improve as they go into, this would be year 3 now. So This is a tough one here. I'm going to go Broncos win week 1. I just can't say the Giants. I feel like I'd be too biased doing that. The Broncos seem more set at this point. The Giants may need a couple games to find their footing on offense. I do think both quarterbacks will improve. Just remains to be seen how well that translates to the win column. So then we have the Cowboys at the Buccaneers. Cowboys, their defense looked like a mess in the preseason game. I mean, it was last year. But the preseason game, of course, you can't really go based off that because a lot of their starters didn't play. Their defense will probably be improved off last year. It'd be hard for it to not be. Dan Quinn is a pretty good defensive coach. But, we just have to see how things play out. But they are going against the Buccaneers, the reigning Super Bowl champs. I think it's an easy win for the Buccaneers there. It may be high scoring, but I just can't see the Buccaneers losing to the Cowboys week 1. Then we have the Eagles at the Falcons. Eagles, I think, we're going to be one of the worst teams this year. I don't know. They're a young team, which has a lot of potential for the future, but right now, it does not look like they're going to win a lot. Which, they got a first-year head coach. Jalen Hurts is coming in after only starting a few games at the end of the year last year. The Falcons, on the other hand, are going to be an offensive powerhouse, I think, like they generally have been. I think Mike Davis, I'm a Gamecock fan, so it's good to see a South Carolina Gamecock running back getting a starting role. I think he can be good. It just remains to be seen if he can take the volume of carries that Derrick Henry took, because Arthur Smith was the coordinator there at Tennessee. I think they will be a good offense. Their defense, though, I'm not really feeling it, but I think their offense will be able to carry them to some wins. I think that's what will happen in week 1. Then we have the 49ers at the Lions. 49ers, I think, are going to be a good team as long as they are healthy. That was their problem last year. And really, since Shanahan has been there, if they have had injuries hit them, which it generally does, they have a bad record. But the thing here is if they get hit by injuries, they've got Trey Lance waiting, because assuming Garoppolo starts, which I think he will, if he does play really well, then they will win. If he goes down with an injury or is benched, Trey Lance has been doing pretty well in preseason so far. So, yeah, I think the 49ers will be a good team this year. The Lions, on the other hand, kind of with the Eagles and the Texans, I think they will be one of the worst teams in the league. Nothing on the team like it. Again, they're a team that looks like they could have potential, but they just don't have all the pieces just yet. Their offense is lacking in some departments. The running back room is pretty good. I'm a Jared Goff believer. I think he will be good still. It's just the receivers. They don't really have the depth there that I think they need. So I'm going to say 49ers will win that game. Then we have the Packers at the Saints. I think the Saints are going to take a while to find their footing. I'm going to assume Jameis Winston is going to roll out as the starter. Taysom Hill may get a couple starts here or there. But I think the Packers are going to be really good. They've got Aaron Rodgers back. They got a lot of their key players back. So, yeah, I think the Packers are going to be one of the best teams in the league again this year. And the Saints, again, are going to take a couple weeks to find their footing. Then we have the Chicago Bears at the LA Rams. 2 new quarterbacks for both these teams. Bears are going to start with Andy Dalton. And, I have to assume at some point they'll probably make the change to Justin Fields. I think Andy Dalton will still be a good quarterback. But, the Bears are probably not going to win a lot. And if the coaching staff has really any job of keeping their job the next year, it remains to be seen how they do with Justin Fields. So, yeah, I think the Rams are going to win week 1. They're going to have an explosive offense. They're going to have a solid defense still. I think the Rams are going to be one of the better teams in the league again. So, yeah, that's week 1. Kind of talked about the main core storylines for each team going into the season. So, yeah, I'm not going to really try and talk much more on those. I just want to go through and pick the teams based off of just what I talked about there. So, yeah, only teams that are really going to have developing storylines are really the 49ers, the Bears, maybe the Patriots and Broncos based on, quarterback play and stuff. But, And the Texans. I don't know if I said them or not. But yeah, let's just go into week 2. I think the Browns can easily beat the Texans there. The Bills, I do not think will lose. Actually, no. I think the Dolphins are going to get a win there, try and make it a somewhat competitive race for the division title. Broncos at Jaguars. I think the Broncos, if they continue to make strides, can win that game as well. Patriots, I think, can beat the Jets. The Raiders versus the Steelers. I think the Steelers will get their first win. Chiefs at Ravens could be a very explosive game, but I'm going to say the Chiefs will win it. Bengals at the Bears. I think the Bengals can get their first win here. Rams at Colts. I'm going to go with the Rams. Colts still without Wentz. I don't really see them winning. Cowboys at Chargers. I think the Cowboys will get a win here against the Chargers. It'll be a high-scoring game probably. Titans at Seahawks. I'm going to say the Titans are going to keep rolling with their offense. The Giants at Washington. Washington will get a win there to jump up to be neck and neck with Dallas in the division. 49ers will be the Eagles. I think the Panthers can get a win at home against the Saints. Buccaneers will beat the Falcons. They may even sweep them and the whole division possibly. Vikings at the Cardinals. I'm going to say the Cardinals will get a win here, and the Packers are going to beat Detroit at home. Chargers at Chiefs. I think the Chiefs will win at home here. The Bengals at the Steelers. Again, at home, Steelers will win. Colts at Titans. Titans will win. Things are kind of looking down for the Colts at this point. I think the Jets could get their first win here against the Broncos. They may slip up a bit. Dolphins at Raiders. I'm going to say the Dolphins will get a win here. Panthers will beat the Texans, and they're looking pretty good in their division over there at 3-0, as the Texans fall to 0-3. Washington at Buffalo. Buffalo will get the win there. The Browns, I think, can beat the Bears. Cardinals at Jaguars. Cardinals will get that win. Baltimore will beat the Lions. I think the Patriots will win at home as the Saints continue to lose a bit, still finding their footing. Falcons at Giants. I think the Giants can get the win there. First win of the season for them. Buccaneers at Rams. This will be an explosive offensive game, but I'm counting on the Buccaneers to pull that one out. Seahawks at the Vikings. This will be a close game, I feel, but I'm going to go with the Seahawks to win it. Packers will beat the 49ers, get their revenge for a couple years ago when they lost the NFC Championship. Then we have the Eagles at Dallas at home. Dallas is going to win. They may even sweep the Eagles this year. Then we have the Jaguars at the Bengals, two up-and-coming young quarterbacks with Lawrence and Burrow. But I'm going to say the Bengals will get the win here. Texans at Bills. Bills going to win that one. I think the Colts will get their first win against the Dolphins. Maybe catch Tua in a game he slips up on with a powerful defense, helping the Colts to the win there. Titans will continue rolling, beat the Jets. The Ravens will beat the Broncos. Chargers get a win against the Raiders. Chiefs, the Eagles are not going to pose much of a threat to them. I'm going to say that I'll give the Vikings a win here against the Browns to kind of slow them a bit. The Packers will beat the Steelers. I think we're going to have a Buccaneers and Patriots game. Tom Brady comes back to New England, and I'm gonna say the Patriots give the Buccaneers their first loss of the season. So yeah, it could be an interesting game as the Patriots are sitting up there 4-0, one of the better teams in the league. Then we have the Lions at the Bears, two teams that do not have a win yet. That's gonna obviously change, and I'm gonna give that to the Bears at home. Panthers at Cowboys. Cowboys, I think, can get the win there. Give the Panthers their first loss. Washington gets another win against the Falcons. The Saints get their first win against the Giants as the 49ers beat the Seahawks at home, and the Rams also win at home. Then we have the Titans at the Jaguars. I'm going to say an upset here. The Jaguars get a win against the Titans. Steelers and the Broncos. I think the Steelers can win that game. Patriots continue rolling, get a win against the Texans. The Browns, I think, are going to get a win here against the Chargers. The Chiefs are going to take down the Bills. Actually, I don't know, the Bills, would they fall? Actually, I'm going to go switch back the Chiefs get their first loss here in an upset by the Bills. Colts at the Ravens. I think the Colts are going to get another win to keep rolling in their division. The Jets at the Falcons. Falcons will bounce back with another win. The Packers are going to take down the Bengals. Buccaneers bounce back after their loss to beat the Dolphins. Raiders will get, is that their first win? Yep, it is, against the Bears. Seahawks win at home against the Rams. I'm going to say Washington gets a win here against the Saints. Eagles will get their first win against the Panthers. The Lions at the Vikings. Vikings will win that game. 49ers at Cardinals. Cardinals will win that game at home. And the Cowboys will beat the Giants at home. Then we have the Dolphins at the Jaguars. I was going to say, I don't know if it's for the rivalry, a battle, because, yeah, Tua would have played Trevor in college at some point, but, you know, two young quarterbacks who are really good in college. I'm going to say the Jaguars get the win there. Texans get their first win against the Colts. They're still struggling, and this is about the time I think Wentz will probably come back next week is where I'm going to guess that this will play out. Chargers are going to get the win against the Ravens. Broncos get a win against the Raiders. And I'm going to say that the Bills get a win against the Titans, try and make a jump for top of the division. As the Chiefs, I think, can take down Washington. Lions get their first win at home against the Bengals. Then we have Cardinals at the Browns. I'm going to say Browns get the win there. Cowboys at Patriots. Patriots going to win that game. I think the Cowboys, they're going to have a couple slip-up games here. As the Seahawks face the Steelers, Seahawks will win that game. Buccaneers beat the Eagles pretty easily. Going to figure the Bears actually will get a upset win at home against the Packers. As the Rams take down the Giants and the Vikings beat the Panthers. So moving into Week 7. Broncos at Browns. The Browns will get the win there. Jets coming off a bye week at the Patriots. I'm going to say the Jets pull off the upset win and give the Patriots their first loss of the season. Bengals at the Ravens. Ravens win at home. Chiefs are going to come up against the Titans. This will be an explosive game. I'm going to say the Chiefs will win it. Falcons at the Dolphins. I'm going to say Dolphins get the win there. Eagles versus Raiders. Raiders will get that win. Cardinals will beat the Texans. Wentz will be back at this point for the Colts. And, you know, I'm going to say they'll catch the 49ers coming in off of their bye week. And Wentz will get his first win of the season. Then we have the Panthers at the Giants. Giants will get a win there at home as Washington takes on the Packers. And Packers will win that game. Lions against the Rams. It'll be a matchup between quarterbacks and their former teams. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say Jared Goff gets a revenge game against the Rams for passing on him, letting him go for Matthew Stafford. The Bears take on the Buccaneers. Buccaneers will win that game. Saints at Seattle. I think the Saints will get another win there. As we move on to Week 8. I was going to say the midpoint of the season, but I guess that's Week 9 now at this point. As the Dolphins take on the Bills at home. Bills will get the win there. Steelers at the Browns. The Browns will get that win. As the Titans take on the Colts at home. Colts will bounce back, get a win as they... Oh man, it's almost a three-way tie for a division lead there. As the Bengals will take down the Jets. The Patriots at the Chargers. Chargers will get a win there. Rams will beat the Texans pretty single-handedly. Jaguars at Seahawks. Seahawks will get the win as Washington at Denver. Washington will get the win there. Chiefs pretty much going to be unstoppable at the Giants. As the Packers take on the Cardinals, I can see the Cardinals getting a win here against the Packers. 49ers at the Bears. I'm going to say the Bears get a sneaky win here as the Panthers lose at home to the Falcons. Eagles in Detroit. Detroit gets another win. No. I'm going to say the Eagles get a win. I think they'll have a couple wins by this point. Buccaneers at the Saints. I'm going to say the Saints get a big win here to help them in the divisional standings as they jump to second in the division with that win. as the Vikings take down the Cowboys at home. Jets at Colts. Colts will get the win, jump to the top of the division after a 0-3 start. They're looking pretty good. Browns, I'm going to say they lose to the Bengals at home as the Dolphins beat the Texans. Bills beat the Jaguars. Cowboys will get a bounce back win here against the Broncos. And the Giants get a good win here against the Raiders. Raiders kind of looking a little sad on the record or in the standings. Patriots at Panthers. Panthers get a little bounce back win here, as I think that's 3 straight the Patriots have lost, as the Vikings take on the Ravens. A battle of the purple teams, I guess is what this is. The Ravens will win that one. Eagles against the Chargers. I'm going to say the Chargers win that game. Then we have a big game here. Packers versus the Chiefs, 2 of the top teams in the NFL. I'm going to say, though, Packers will get the win there, take down the Chiefs a notch, as the Titans face the Rams, another offensive matchup. Titans will get that win, stay alive in the division fight. We have the Bears at the Steelers. Steelers will get a win. They've kind of been lingering at the bottom of their division, as the Falcons will lose to the Saints at home, and the 49ers beat the Cardinals at home. And that was the halfway point for the season, so yeah, get a little bit of chance to see. Let me see, the best teams in the division winners are Browns, Titans, Bills, and the Chiefs, with the Chargers, Patriots, Colts, and Ravens all threatening for some wild card spots. And the worst teams in the league right now, in the AFC at least, are the Texans, the Jets, and the Raiders. Broncos aren't looking too hot either. The NFC, Packers, Vikings, Buccaneers, Cowboys, and then, man, the entire NFC West is looking like they're fighting for the playoffs too. And again, worst teams, Eagles, Falcons are down there again, as are the Lions and the Bears. So yeah, a couple teams trying to fight to make it to the playoffs as we continue on. So the Dolphins at home, I think they'll get a win here against the Ravens, take them down. Colts get the win at home against the Jaguars. Jets sneak off a win, upset against the Bills. They actually have 2 division wins against the 2 divisional leaders right now. I think the Patriots can take down the Browns at this point. Raiders, again, get a home win against the Chiefs. This is kind of what happened last year with them. They're not going to be very good, but they're still going to have the title of having beaten the Chiefs. Then we have the Lions at the Steelers. I'm going to say that the Steelers will win this game. Saints at Titans. Saints are going to get a win, and for the first time in this season have a winning record, as they started out 0-3 and have gone 5-1 since. May have even started out 0-5 and have won 5 straight. But yeah, we have the Vikings at the Chargers. Chargers will get that win there, I feel. Eagles at the Broncos. Eagles will get another win here as they try it and get out of last spot in the division. Falcons take on the Cowboys. Falcons will get a win here. Buccaneers at Washington. I'm going to say Washington gets a win to climb into the playoff run. Or playoff run, is that? I don't know. These terms I'm throwing out kind of off. Panthers going to lose to the Cardinals, as the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks can take down the Packers here. And the 49ers beat the Rams at home. Colts at the Bills. Bills will get that win. They're going to be a dominant team this year. The Dolphins are going to get a win against the Jets. Titans, I think they've swept the Texans now, as the Bengals actually taking down the Raiders at this point. Steelers at Chargers. Chargers get the win there. Falcons and Patriots. Patriots going to get that win, as the Bears going to sneak away another win. And man, the AFC North is a close race here. Any team really could win the division at this point. Lions at Browns. Browns will get that win, separating themselves from the rest of the pack, as I think the Jaguars get a upset win here over the 49ers. Chiefs going to keep rolling, defeat the Cowboys. Saints beat the Eagles. Washington will beat the Panthers, as Ron Rivera gets a win against his former team. Vikings win at home against the Packers. Seahawks beat the Cardinals. Buccaneers going to dominate the Giants. Bengals win at home against the Steelers as they drop to a losing record, and the Bengals actually get a winning record. The Patriots will take on the Titans. Titans will win that game. As the Texans face up against the Jets, the Texans will get their second win of the year. Broncos win at home against the Chargers. The Ravens will win at home against the Browns, as the Cowboys take down the Raiders. The Saints get another win here against the explosive Bills. The Buccaneers get another win against the Colts, as the Dolphins beat the Panthers. Jaguars will beat the Falcons. Lions win at home against the Bears. The Giants win at home against the Eagles. Then we got the Vikings against the 49ers. So I'm going to say Vikings get the win there. Man, as they actually jump to win their division at this point, a couple games, or with the divisional win lead over the Packers here. But that's going to change. Packers, do not tie. Get a win against the Rams. Seahawks at Washington. I'm going to say Seahawks get the win there. Then move into Week 13. Chargers taking on the Bengals. Chargers get that win. Chiefs take down the Broncos. I'm going to say the Texans get another win here. At home against the Colts. Ravens take on the Steelers. The Steelers will get a win at home as they try and keep their playoff hopes alive. Patriots face off against the Bills at home. Bills will get the win there. The Dolphins will take on the Giants. Giants will get that win as they try and make a surge to get into the playoffs, but it's an uphill battle for sure. The Jets versus the Eagles. Jets will get a win there. As Washington takes on the Raiders, they get another win, as the Raiders still sitting at the bottom of their division. Jaguars against the Rams. Rams are going to get a win there. Saints take down the Cowboys. Cardinals defeat the Bears. I was tempted to say the Falcons may sneak away a home win, but no, I think they will get swept by the Buccaneers. Vikings in Detroit. This is a game I could see the Vikings losing, but I'm going to say they get the win. And the Seahawks beat the 49ers at home. Browns bounce back and get a win at home against the Ravens, as the Raiders lose to the Chiefs. The Titans defeat the Jaguars. Steelers defeat the Ravens. The Ravens, it's the Vikings, I don't know. I do think the Steelers will defeat the Vikings, as the 49ers take on the Bengals. 49ers get the win as they try and secure a playoff spot, but it's kind of an uphill battle. At this point, Jets take on the Saints. Saints will get the win there to continue to solidify themselves as a threat as they go to 9-4. They've had a big late season surge here as the playoffs come close. Seahawks will take down the Texans. The Lions get another win against the Broncos, as these two teams kind of are looking more at their draft positioning as opposed to their playoff hopes. The Giants are going to take on the Chargers and lose that game, as the Buffalo Bills take on the Buccaneers. I'm going to see the Buccaneers get a big win here to climb to the top of the NFC. Cowboys are going to lose at home, or they're going to lose to Washington at home. Panthers get a home win against the Falcons. Bears lose at home to the Packers. The Cardinals, the Rams are fighting for playoff hopes, and I think the Cardinals are going to try and put the dagger in it. No. Rams will get the win there. I do think they'll make the playoffs, and they're going to have some big wins along the way to make it happen. Chargers with the big upset win in the division against the Chiefs, as they are now tied for their positioning in the division. Browns get another win against the Raiders. Actually, no. I'm a Browns fan. I know that's a game that the Browns will probably lose. They lost to the Jets late last year. I could see them doing the same thing to the Raiders this year. Patriots at Colts. Colts are going to get a win there, so they try and fight to make it to the playoffs. The Jets will lose to the Dolphins at home. The Jaguars will beat the Texans at home. Steelers versus Titans. The Steelers are trying to make it a big fight for the playoffs, but they're going to lose here to the Titans. Broncos get a win against the Bengals at this point. Bills get another win against the Panthers. I think the Ravens will actually get a win here, trying their best to stay in the playoff fight. Washington, I'm going to say, you know what? A big game here for the division. The Eagles get a win, giving the other teams in the division, the Cowboys and Giants, the chance to make a late playoff push happen, and the Giants are going to take advantage. They're going to win against the Cowboys at home as the Cardinals take on the Lions, beat them. 49ers come back, beat the Falcons. The Rams get a win against the Seahawks there. Buccaneers are going to defeat the Saints at home, and this is a game I feel like the Bears can defeat the Vikings. It always seems to happen at least once a year. Then the Ravens take on the Bengals at home. Ravens are going to get the win there. Jets take on the Jaguars. Jaguars I could see getting a win as the Patriots take on the Bills at home. I'm going to say the Bills get that win. Texans and Chargers. Chargers get the win there. It's the Chiefs. They get a win against the Steelers. Broncos at Raiders. Raiders get the win, and they're close to jumping the Broncos for their placement in the division. 49ers take on the Titans. Titans get another win there as the Packers face off against the Browns. Browns get that win to stay at the top of their division. Colts at the Cardinals. Gonna say the Colts are gonna get the win there, trying their best to get into the playoff run. The Dolphins take on the Saints, and I'm going to say the Dolphins get the win. They are among the teams trying to fight to get into the playoffs. We saw this kind of last year between the Browns, Colts, and Dolphins as they all fought to make it into the playoffs. Giants going to win again, defeating the Eagles as they jump to second in the division. They have a chance now if they can to overtake the Washington football team. If they can jump over them, they can maybe win the division and make it to the playoffs as the Lions lose to the Falcons. Buccaneers take down the Panthers. Rams, I think they will lose to the Vikings here. Seahawks are going to beat the Bears, and Dallas is going to get a win. It's a very close run here in the NFC East as these teams are fighting for their playoff appearance. Chiefs will take on and beat the Bengals. I think the Colts will defeat the Raiders. Patriots defeat the Jaguars. Titans take down the Dolphins. Chargers defeat the Broncos. This is a big game here for the playoffs. And you know what? I'm going to say the Steelers get a win, making things interesting in the AFC North. The Bills are going to take down the Falcons as the Buccaneers get another win against the Jets, and we may see them at this point, with an extra game added. That's something I wonder is, are teams going to rest their starters like more than just 1 week as the playoffs draw closer? Could happen. Interesting thing. Also, 17-game schedule, kind of aggravating because like a lot of these records would be final records, but it is what it is, I guess. As the Texans are going to lose to the 49ers. Ravens get a win there against the Rams. The Bears and the Giants. Giants will get the win. Giants are actually making it look like they've got a possibility to win their division. As the Cardinals going to take down the Cowboys. And Washington will defeat the Eagles as they pretty much have locked up a playoff spot unless something crazy happens in the final week. Saints get the win against the Panthers. Seahawks defeat the Lions. The Packers defeat the Vikings at home. Then, the final week, Week 18 of the NFL season, we have the Bills to get a win against the Jets to secure their spot as the division winner. Browns get a win against the Bengals to take them down. The Patriots defeat the Broncos, knocking them out of the playoffs. The Jaguars going to get a win here, take their divisional rival out of the playoffs. As the Ravens defeat the Steelers, the Texans are going to lose to the Titans. Chiefs come back, beat the Broncos. Chargers do the same. No. I think Raiders will get a win there. As the Buccaneers win at home, defeat the Panthers. Cowboys win, defeat the Eagles. I'm going to say Falcons get a late season win. It's one of those where you're like, why did you win that game? But I don't know, Saints may have rested a couple players or something. And then this is the big game where it counts. The Giants defeat Washington, and they actually win the division. Now, this may be my bias, because like I said, I'm a Giants fan. I wanted to make the playoffs. This may be my bias, so you can come at me, because I do hate me some Cowboys. So this division here may not be fully accurate. But, you know, I don't know. Let me indulge in this. This is the only time I'm going to see a positive winning record for my Giants, probably for a good while. As the Packers defeat the Lions, the Rams. What am I talking about? The Vikings defeat the Bears. Cardinals get a win here against the Seahawks, and the Rams do defeat the 49ers. And there we have it, the regular season records. And my things did change a bit. Ravens jumped the Browns to win their division, and a couple things, like there are some divisions where you're like, man, it seemed like that team has quite a few losses. Like here, as I was going along, I was seeing the Ravens, how many losses they were stacking up. Same with both the Browns and the Steelers. Like, I really think the Steelers could finish with a winning record, but it's just with the how good the division is, how many good teams they've got to face. Like, I think all three of them had to face the Chiefs. Like, it's nothing against the teams. Like, I think the Ravens are going to be a solid team. Like I said earlier, I mean, they won the division. But just a couple of teams that, like, I feel like could be changed. Like, I could see the Colts slipping in the playoffs. The Jaguars, that may be a couple too many wins. But I do feel like they will be an explosive team. Just comes to see, or remains to be seen, how they stack up. Like, Dolphins, I could easily see making the playoffs. Maybe a few too many wins for the Chargers here, but I think they will be a pretty potent team. Packers may have gotten a few too many losses. Again, this division, like, you never know. Like, it's not out of the realm of possibility for me to see the Giants, like, as they find their stride, winning the division, but that also could just be me being an optimistic Giants fan. So, yeah. And then here, I do think the Rams probably will make the playoffs over the Cardinals, but, you know, this is just my predictions. As you just saw, I went through these predictions I just made, and I've got a couple problems, which obviously these are going to be different. Like, a team like, I don't know, the Jets could come together quicker than we imagine, and they could actually be up here where the Dolphins are. Or, I don't know, the Steelers could be worse and be somewhere like the Lions. Like, you never can tell with the NFL. It just remains to be seen when week 1 rolls around. So, yeah, I guess we will go ahead and do the playoffs as well. It doesn't really matter because, I don't know, it's just tough to do these, so it doesn't really matter, but just for the heck of it, as a bonus, we'll go through. I think the Ravens could beat the Chargers in the playoffs. The Patriots, they're going to find that good playoff spot that they've been in before. Chiefs will take down the Browns. I think the Cardinals could definitely beat the Giants. Packers defeat the Vikings as the Seahawks take down the Saints. Then Chiefs versus Ravens. Chiefs will get the win there. I think the Bills will take down the Patriots. Packers defeat the Seahawks. Buccaneers defeat the Cardinals. And whoa, won't you look at that NFC Championship game. Packers, Buccaneers. Looks mighty familiar, doesn't it? Well, okay, Packers fans, I'm going to give it to you this year. Y'all been through a lot. And, yeah, I think if this is Aaron Rodgers' last season, I think they will go out with a bang as the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, or the AFC Championship. We get the Super Bowl matchup. Screw it. I'm going to say Packers win the Super Bowl over the Chiefs. That's my prediction right now. I don't know how it will pan out, but yeah. You know, if you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed my rankings, I know kind of a few stupid picks in there probably more than a few, but if you enjoyed it, be sure to let me know. Let me know if you think I got a team like completely wrong, like this isn't a personal attack on your team. Like I could definitely see things going different ways for these teams. So if your team is in here, you got something you want to say about your team, then be sure to let me know, because we may think alike. Like there are a lot of bad teams here that have a lot of good potential, so this isn't a attack in any way, shape, or form against the team or their fans. So yeah, thank you guys all for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like. If you want to see more one-off sports videos like this, be sure to let me know. I could do something like quarterback tier list, running back tier list, different stuff like that, if you guys want to. If not, I can stick to the video games, because I would be fine with that as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to let me know what you thought of this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.